This is video number 3 for Access Module 2 in the Shelly Cashman book on Microsoft Office 365. We're starting on page 2-22, and the topic here is sorting. Before we do that, though, the author wants to show us how to clear the design grid. So first of all, we need to have something to clear. So we are going to choose our last query here, M02Q06, and right-click on it and go to Design View. And that'll bring up our grid down here. And to clear everything in the grid, select the first column. And the way you select in here is you got to get that fat black arrow pointing down. There's not a very big spot there to do it, so you got to position the cursor pretty precisely. Click on it, then go to the last column over here. And when you get the fat black arrow over here, hold the Shift key down and click. And all 5 columns are now selected. And all you have to do is go to the keyboard now and hit the Delete key, which I'm going to do. And they're all gone. We want to close the query without saving the changes that we made. So go ahead and click on Close up here. And when it says, do you want to save the changes? Our answer is no. Now we're at the top of page 2-23, we're going to import a table. So we want to open another database. Let's open up Windows Explorer. Let's go to our Shelly Cashman folder. This is Access Module 2. And the file we want is support AC CMF vets extra table. So go ahead and double click on that. Now we have 2 databases open. We need to flip over to the other one. Let's go down here and select CMF vets database. We're going to get external data, so click on the external data tab up here. Click on new data source. This is coming from a database. It's coming from an Access database. When the Get External Data Access Database window opens, click on Browse. We want to go to Shelly Cashman, Access Module 2. Either double click on the CMF Vets Extra Tables database or just select it and then click on Open to open that database. We want to import tables, queries, forms, etc., not a link. So make sure this first bold item down here is selected and then click OK. It comes up with queries first. There are no queries out there, but there is a table. Click on the Tables tab at the top and the Veterinary Vendors table will appear. It's called Veterinary Vendors. Select it. Click OK. We don't need to save the import step, so just click on Close. And now we have a new table over here called Veterinary Vendors. Okay, we're at the bottom of page 2-23, and we're going to take a look at sorting data in a query. So we want to create a new query based on the treatment cost table. So go to your Create tab up here, choose Query Design. We don't want the query, so click on the Tables tab. We want the treatment cost table, double click on it, and it'll appear over here. Fields that we want are treatment, double click on treatment, and cost, double click on cost. And there's a sort row down here. We can pick a column or columns to sort on. And all you have to do is go to the column, go to the sort row, click on the down arrow, and choose ascending or descending. What we want this time is ascending, so click on ascending. This will put the lowest cost at the beginning and the highest cost at the end. Let's go ahead and run that. Click on the Run button up here. And the lowest cost is for a microchip at the top, and the highest cost is for a dog wellness exam at the bottom. Let's go ahead and go back to Design View. We want to save this query, so click on File, Save As. This is going to be an object in our database. Click on Save As. This query is going to be called M02Q07. Go ahead and click on OK. And there it is over there in our Access Objects list. The last item in this section is to return to Design View and change the sort order to descending. So we'll go ahead and do that. And this will just reverse the order of the records that are returned. Go ahead, click on Run. Now we've got the highest one at the top and we've got the lowest numbers at the bottom. Okay, let's go ahead and close that. And we don't want to save those changes, so just click on No. Now we're at the bottom of page 2-24, omitting duplicates. We want to go back into Design View, so right-click on the query M02Q07 and then choose Design View from the pop-up menu. We want to choose the treatment column here. Get your fat black arrow pointing down, click on it, and then hit the delete key. Then we want to click at the top of column 2 here to the right of the cost field. If necessary, click on the Design tab on the ribbon. Well, it's called Query Design now instead of Design. We're already on it, so we're good. And we want to click the Property Sheet button, which is over here on the right. Go ahead and click on that, and it'll give us a list of properties for this query. One of the fields is called Unique Values, and right now it's set to no. What that means is that it will return all of the records even if there are duplicate values. So if we say yes, we only want unique values, it will eliminate any duplicates for us. Now let's flip over to the top of page 2-26. Close the property sheet by clicking on the X. Run the query by clicking on the red exclamation mark up on the ribbon. And these are the results that we should get. None of the costs are listed twice as they were before. So sometimes you want every record that's out there. Sometimes you only want to find the unique values that are out there. So let's go ahead and save and close the query. I'm going to close it here, and then, yes, I want to save the changes. Now we're at the bottom of page 2-26. We're going to sort on multiple keys. So we want to create a new query. So let's click on the Create tab, then click on the Query Design button. This query is based on the treatment cost table. So let's click on Tables over here, choose Treatment Cost, double click on it. And the fields we want are treatment number, double click on it, treatment, double click, animal type, double click, cost, double click, and all 4 fields will appear in our grid down at the bottom. So click in the sort box below animal type, click on the down arrow and choose ascending. This will return the records in alphabetical order based on animal type. So canines will be at the top, followed by felines. But then the question is, how do you decide within canines what order to put them in, and within felines what order to put them in? And what we're going to use as a tiebreaker here is the treatment cost. So that'll be our secondary key. And the way we're going to sort them is we're going to sort them in ascending order based on their treatment cost. So in the sort box in the treatment cost column, click on the down arrow and choose ascending. And let's run the query up here on the exclamation mark. And you can see they're sorted in alphabetical order. That's considered ascending order for text fields. So we've got C before F. And then over here, if these are all the same, within this group here, these are sorted in ascending order. And the same thing down here. Within this group of felines down here, they are sorted in ascending order. So you can sort on more than one column. If you sort on 2 columns, the second column is only used if there's a tie in the first column, so it's a tiebreaker. Let's go ahead and save this query. Go ahead and click on the X to close it. When it says, do you want to save the changes, click on yes. This query is going to be called M02Q08. Go ahead and type that in, click on OK, and it should show up over here on the left side. So we're at the top of page 2-28. It says return to design view. So let's right click on our query here. Let's choose design view. And we're back where we were before. We're going to modify this query and then save it under a new name. If necessary, click on the Design tab. Well, it's called Query Design in this version of Access, and we're already there. Click the Return arrow to display the Return menu. This lets us specify a specific number of records that we want returned from the query, and the default numbers are 5, 25, and 100. And we can also do percentages, and the default values for that are 5% and 25%. We want the number 5, so just go ahead and select 5. And this will return the first 5 results from the query. If you have a large database and you get hundreds or thousands of records back, you might not want to see all of them. You might just want to see some of them to make sure that your query is working correctly. Let's go ahead and run this. Click on the exclamation mark over here, and we get the first 5 records. Those are all canines, and they're still in ascending order. So we want to save this query. So we're going to have to do a Save As. So let's go to File, click on Save As, then click on the Saved Object As button on the left, then click on the small Save As button on the right. And we don't want to save a copy of that. We want to just delete that. And we want to put M02Q09, click on OK, and we've saved it. without wiping out our earlier query M02Q08. Okay, the next section is on joining tables. This is probably a good place to stop this video.